Discipline is not what you think it is. Most people imagine it as endless suffering, forcing yourself to grind harder, push longer, and fight your own resistance every single day. If you were doing everything right on paper and still feel burned out, drained, and quietly angry at yourself, it is not because you are weak. It is because you are chasing the wrong definition. You are trying to drag your life forward with brute force instead of building a system that carries you. Real discipline is not punishment. Real discipline is peace. It is the absence of constant internal arguing. You go to bed on time, not because you are superhuman, but because you understand that staying up late is too expensive. You eat the same simple breakfast, not because you are boring, but because you know decision fatigue is real and your mental energy is limited. Discipline is what happens when your default choices already line up with the life you want. The problem is that inconsistency has better PR. Jumping from routine to routine feels exciting. Quitting and restarting feels dramatic. But rhythm is what actually builds a life. Today, we are going to install systems that turn small, boring actions into hard evidence that you can trust yourself. That is how you build inner gravity, the quiet pull that keeps you moving toward the best version of you. Your life is built on how often you keep promises to yourself. Every time you say, "I'll wake up at 6," and then smash snooze 3 times, you make a tiny withdrawal from self-trust. Every time you say, "No social media before 10," and you are scrolling in bed at 7, you teach your brain a simple rule. We do not mean what we say. After enough broken promises, your nervous system stops taking you seriously. When internal trust collapses, everything gets heavier. You start doubting your goals, delaying decisions, moving deadlines, and telling yourself, "I'll start Monday," as if Monday will magically come with a new personality. The problem is not that your goals are too big. The problem is that your brain has seen the pattern too many times and no longer believes your words. There is also a wiring cost. Every time you pick comfort over challenge, you reinforce a neural pathway that says, ease first, effort later. When the first thing you do in the morning is check notifications, you are not just wasting time. You're training your brain that other people's noise is more important than your own priorities. You are programming it to crave dopamine hits before it ever craves discipline. The solution is structure. Your life feels chaotic when your habits are random. Discipline becomes easier only when your routines become predictable, when the same actions repeat at the same times until your brain stops arguing and just follows the script. Self-improvement is not about stacking more on top. It is about stabilizing the basics you already know you should be doing. Protocol 1 is the boring foundation, the tiny, repetitive habits that look insignificant but quietly run everything in the background. Start with micro wins. When you wake up, your body is basically a dried-out raisin pretending to be a human. A simple glass of water becomes a performance enhancer for focus, mood, and metabolism. You are not chasing a health hack. You are just giving your brain the minimum conditions it needs to think clearly. Next, make your bed. On the surface, it feels pointless. Why organize something you will mess up again tonight? But psychologically, it's your first micro-win of the day. It's a visible proof that you can initiate and complete a task in under 60 seconds. That small signal matters. Your brain registers order, control, and closure before you even leave the room. Then, expand the foundation outward. Week after week, these boring habits start to link together like gears in a machine. You hydrate, so you feel a bit better. You eat a cleaner meal, so you sleep deeper. You sleep deeper, so you wake up clearer. You wake up clearer, so you plan your day smarter. There is nothing mystical happening. This is what compounding looks like in real life. Now, bring in the money mirror. Stop hiding from your finances. Start tracking your spending. Not to judge yourself, but to see yourself. Every dollar becomes a mirror reflecting what you value, what you avoid. and how you cope. The moment you pay attention to where your money goes, you begin noticing where your time, focus, and energy go too. Tracking money turns into tracking you. And that awareness is the first layer of real control. Your inner voice is not just background noise. It's the narrator of your entire life. You can't live a powerful story while the narrator is mocking the main character. If the voice in your head keeps saying, "You always screw this up," your brain will quietly move your behavior to match that script. Protocol 2 is the narrator shift. You start talking to yourself like someone you're responsible for, not like an enemy you're tired of. This doesn't mean lying or hyping yourself up with fake positivity. It means your words either build you or break you, and you choose building. When you mess up, the old narrator says, "See, this is who you really are." The new narrator says, "We missed today. We're back tomorrow. This is what someone serious about their life does." Journaling becomes your detox mechanism. You are not writing poetry. You are taking the chaos in your head and dumping it onto paper where you can see it. You write down what actually happened, what you felt, and what you want to do next. At first, it feels awkward, repetitive, even stupid. But halfway down the page, something shifts. The storm in your head becomes specific sentences on a page, and specific sentences can be questioned, challenged, and improved. This process forces you to face what you normally numb with snacks, scrolling, and noise. You argue with yourself, and for once, the part of you that wants better has a chance to win. Over time, the narrator in your head starts to sound less like a bully and more like a coach who believes you are capable and holds you to that standard. If you stay with this long enough, you notice something strange. All the boring habits, drinking water, going to bed on time, walking, reading, cleaning your space, tracking your money, are not separate victories. They are all training you for one ultimate habit: keeping promises to yourself. That is the whole game. Boring in this context doesn't mean lifeless. Boring means trustworthy. It means you have become the person your own brain can rely on. When you say, "We are doing this," your nervous system no longer rolls its eyes. It expects follow-through because that's the pattern it has seen on repeat. That is what inner gravity really is. The internal pull toward your best behaviors, even on bad days, because that is who you now believe you are. This is the real reward of discipline. No one claps when you drink water instead of another coffee. No one cheers when you make your bed or turn off your phone at night. These actions are quiet, predictable, and repeatable. But over months and years, they change everything about how you move through the world. Your anxiety drops because you trust yourself. Your decisions improve because your baseline is stable. Your progress accelerates because you are not constantly dragging a chaotic life behind you. At that point, you are not chasing results. Results are chasing you because you have finally become the kind of person who can hold them. You don't need a perfect plan. You need alignment between what you say and what you do. Discipline at its core is the peace of no longer negotiating with yourself every time it's time to act. So, here is the final command. Start your boring era today. Drink the water, make the bed, track the money, read the pages. Stack these tiny repetitions until they stop feeling like effort and start feeling like identity. Boring is not the opposite of exciting. It's the foundation of being unstoppable. You won't need motivation forever because your system will carry you. If you are ready to move from negotiation to peace, drop inner gravity in the comments and then go do one small, boring thing you promised yourself.